You're sick, your head is pounding, your throat is on fire, and the only doctor available is standing over you, holding a pouch of crushed beetles, a sharpened stick, and what appears to be a piece of moldy bread. This is not a nightmare. For most of human history, this was medicine. Before pharmacies, before clinical trials, before germ theory, your ancestors healed themselves using methods so strange, so counterintuitive, and so surprisingly effective that scientists are still studying them today. And here is what makes it even more unsettling. Some of it actually worked. Not all of it. Some of it would kill you. But enough of it worked that you are alive right now to hear about it. So, let us go back, way back, and reconstruct what medicine actually looked like for the 300,000 years before anyone had a degree. The first thing to understand is that ancient medicine was not random. That is the assumption most people carry. That early humans were just guessing, throwing plants at problems, and hoping. But the archaeological and anthropological record tells a very different story. In 2012, researchers analyzing the dental calculus, the hardened plaque of Neanderthal remains at El Cedron Cave in Spain, found something extraordinary. One individual had consumed significant quantities of yarrow, groundsel, and a bitter-tasting plant called ephedra. None of these plants have meaningful caloric value. They are not food. But all three have documented medicinal properties. Yarrow is a natural anti-inflammatory and wound coagulant. Ephedra contains ephedrine, a compound still used in modern decongestants. The Neanderthal was not eating these plants. He was treating himself with them, and he had been doing so at least 50,000 years ago. This is the part that rewires your assumptions. Medicinal knowledge is not a product of civilization. It predates cities, writing, and agriculture by tens of thousands of years. It may be one of the oldest forms of knowledge your species possesses. So what did the medicine cabinet actually look like? Let us start with one of the most widespread and well-documented ancient medicines: maggots. Before you recoil, understand what maggots actually do. When certain fly larvae, particularly those of the green bottlefly, are placed inside an infected wound, they eat only the dead and necrotic tissue while leaving healthy flesh completely alone. They also secrete allantoin and calcium carbonate, compounds that actively promote healing and suppress bacterial growth. They are, in effect, a self-guided surgical tool. Ancient Mayan healers used maggot therapy deliberately. Aboriginal Australians used it. Evidence of intentional wound debridement using larvae has been found across cultures on every inhabited continent. And in 2004, the United States Food and Drug Administration formally approved maggot therapy as a medical device. The same treatment your ancestors used in a jungle clearing is now available in a sterile hospital setting in Los Angeles. Then there is willow bark. If you have ever taken aspirin, you have taken a synthetic version of a compound your ancestors were extracting from trees thousands of years ago. The active molecule in aspirin, salicylic acid, occurs naturally in the bark of white willow trees. Ancient Egyptians documented its use for fever and pain relief in the Ebers Papyrus, one of the oldest surviving medical texts, dating to roughly 1550 BCE. The Sumerians recorded it earlier still. And ethnobotanical research suggests the knowledge may be far older than any written record, passed down through oral tradition for generations before anyone thought to carve it in stone. The interesting question is not how they discovered it. The interesting question is how many thousands of other plant compounds they discovered that we have lost. Ethnopharmacologist Paul Allen Cox has spent decades documenting traditional plant medicines in Samoa and other Pacific communities. His research, including a landmark 1994 study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, found that traditional healers had identified plant compounds with genuine antiviral activity against HIV, compounds that Western science had not yet tested. The knowledge existed in communities before the labs ever looked. This pattern repeats across cultures. In 2015, a team at the University of Nottingham recreated a 1,000-year-old Anglo-Saxon remedy for eye infections from the Bald's Leech Book, one of the earliest surviving medical manuscripts in English. The recipe called for equal parts garlic and onion, or leek, wine, and ox bile, all left to brew in a brass vessel for 9 days. When they tested it against MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, one of the most dangerous antibiotic-resistant infections in modern hospitals, the ancient mixture killed 90% of the bacteria. The medieval healers did not know about bacterial membranes, but they had stumbled onto a combination of a